In the world of ISD, analysis is a critical step for so many obvious reasons. If you mess it up, then things get really messed up for the end user. In this case, I'm the end user. I live here in a community, and they just did asphalt topping, a sealant to it, in the community I live. And they failed in analyzing how the end user would be affected by not realizing that most of us live in a part of the community where there's only one way in and one way out. But they closed off the roadway for us to get out of the community because they were doing a sealant to it. Instead of figuring out a way to be able to have all people who live here be able to go out and come in easily, even during this process, they really messed things up for a lot of us. So what went wrong? That's what Chuck and I are going to break down in this short video on analysis and some of the questions that you should be asking in this really critical phase.
So here's what got me thinking about this. The company clearly knew how to seal a road. That's their expertise. But knowing how to do the work doesn't automatically mean you understand the people affected by the work. That's where this starts to sound a whole lot like instructional design. A client can tell us exactly what they want us to build. They can even be very specific about it. But if nobody stops to ask, how is this going to affect the people on the receiving end, we can successfully complete the project and still end up with a bad result.
So Chuck, how is this similar to when an instructional designer gets a request for training and just starts to build it?
Denise, that's a great question. And when you think about it, everything we do in instructional design is about a system. Whether you're building a road, building a house, going on vacation, anything you do is part of a system. So as instructional designers, we need to think about everything that's involved in what we're trying to do. So every part of our system, from population to motivation, from where we're doing it to how we're doing it, SMEs, managers, all the support folk, it's all part of our system. So whether we're building a road or building a course, it all goes back to the same principles. Dig in, get the facts, get the data, make informed decisions about what you're going to do.
This right here is where analysis matters. Before I can start building anything for a client, I need to understand who is actually going to use what I'm creating and what happens when they do. That's the piece that seems to be missing here. Someone decided the roads needed to be sealed. Someone hired a company to do it. But somewhere in that process, the people who actually live here needed to be a part of the conversation. Training works the same way. The person asking for the training isn't always the person who has to use it.
From an ISD perspective, what could have happened during the analysis phase to prevent this situation from happening?
Denise, the biggest thing that has to happen is you have to get all of the information. You have to get all the details. You have to talk to all the people that are involved. In instructional design, it's the same thing. You need to look around, you need to see what the touch points are. You need to gather the information that relates specifically to your system within your course design. So we're talking about populations. We're talking about how you're going to implement. We're talking about what's the expectation from the organization. What do they want to accomplish? Got to look at, is there motivation there to do this, both within the population we're teaching to and also within a management group. All of these things are important details. Just like in your example, if the road company doesn't talk to the people involved, they're never going to get all the information. So as an instructional designer, we need to do analysis. We need to talk to everybody. We need to gather all the data and put together all the questions that might have to be answered. It's really that simple.
So here is what I'm taking away from my morning walk. When a client asks you to build something, don't start with the thing they're asking you to build. Start with the people who will be affected by it. Ask who's going to use it. Ask what they need. Find out what could get in their way. Because sometimes the thing that tells you a project failed isn't the finished product. It's the tire tracks all over it.